Hey everybody, I obtained some more computers today to make a video on. First of which is a Dell Dimension E520, and I'm going to talk about this similar one, which is a Dell Dimension 3100. I just went out and got these about an hour and a half ago. So I got some other stuff here. I'm going to go ahead and talk about it. Starting off with the E520. This thing, I found it without a case siding. It does have the front panel thing, but I'm not going to put that back on since this drive is IDE and this motherboard doesn't have any IDE connector on it, so I'm going to have to swap it out, even though I have no SATA drives. But anyway, I found it without a case siding, which is a complete pain in the ass, but I have spares, so I have one to put on this, so that's not going to be a problem. It had no RAM in it. I put 1 gigabyte of 533 megahertz RAM in it. I actually originally had in the 3100 over there. So now that computer doesn't have any RAM in it, and I've simply put it into this one. It has a 1.23. Let me see. 2.13. I mean 1.23. Yeah, right. 1.2. No. 2.13 gigahertz Core 2 Duo. Didn't have a video card or anything. It just, you know, basic parts. And for some reason the SATA operation was set to RAID on, and that's sometimes necessary to load Windows XP on these computers, because XP isn't really made for SATA drives. So whoever had this probably had XP running on it. Had no hard drive in it, or bay, or caddy I mean, but I have some spare caddies for that. But it has a Vista COA on it. I'm not going to show you the COA because I don't want anyone stealing my precious Vista COA, which I'm probably not going to use. But yeah, so for this thing I need a hard drive, I need a DVD drive that is SATA capable, and a little bit more RAM, and then I'll be able to sell it. Problem is, SATA drives are pretty expensive. It's about, you know, I can get 80 gigabyte drives for about $10 or $15 each. But I don't know if I want to put an 80 gig hard drive in a computer. Then I'm probably going to upgrade to 2 gigs to RAM, a 2.13 gigahertz Core 2 Duo. And a 250 or at least like a 160 would be a little bit more suitable, but I don't have any of those, and they are expensive. But something you got to keep in mind is that when you're doing business, you have to spend money to make money. So if I spend $20 on a drive and only raise the value by $15, you know, it's not worth it. But if I spend $15 on a drive and raises the value by $20, that's worth it. So yeah, it has this DVD drive on there. It's pretty good. DVD multi-recorder, CD rewritable. It's definitely a good drive, but you know, it's only IDE. And actually, my dad bought one of these in 2007. Dell Dimension E520. I remember getting it and unboxing it and stuff and setting up. I was about 11 at the time. We put an ATI Radeon X700 in the thing. No, X1300 Pro. Now those were the good old days, playing like Half-Life 2 on like an X1300 Pro. You know, but anyway. That only had a 1.83 gigahertz Core 2 Duo. Well, we did get 3 gigabytes of RAM in it. That's enough on this thing though. It works absolutely fine. Yeah, I just need those parts. Now on to the 3100. I don't get why Dell names their computers like they do. You know, you expect a 3100 to be just about as good as a 3000, but it's not. It's completely different. This one has a 2.8 gigahertz Pentium 4, LGA775 of course, hyper-threading. Actually, no, I didn't take the RAM out of this. This is 1 gigabyte of DDR2 FAT33 as well. This is that I had an extra gigabyte. So yeah, I was wrong when I said I took the RAM out of this and to put in that. Right, okay. This one does have IDE, of course. But I think it only has one. Yeah. This one doesn't have a hard drive in it either. So yeah, 2.8 Pentium 4, gigabyte of DDR2 RAM, FAT33 megahertz. No drive, but that should be fine. I can just probably take that one, pop it in here. Yeah, this one didn't come... No, this one did come with a case siding, so I'm all set in that. but I'm probably just gonna buy a bunch of SATA hard drives. I can buy them in lots of 4, by the way. So sometimes stuff on eBay is listed by lots. So instead of buying one at a time, you can buy one listing that's like 4 drives. And you know, people sell anything on eBay in lots, but usually it's a better deal that way. So I'm gonna buy 4 80 gig hard drives probably. One for this thing, one for that thing. I can use one for this. I haven't mentioned this in my past update. I got this a while ago, probably about a little less than a month ago. It's a 4700S. I need an 80 gig hard drive for it, or not necessarily 80 gig, but SATA hard drive I need for it. Well, it doesn't have a front faceplate or bezel, front bezel, whatever you want to call it. Those should be cheap though, and I might not even need one to sell it. And I could also use one for this compact down here, but I think this thing's a Vista COA, and a lot of times computers without XP COAs or that are not made for XP don't have XP drivers available for them. So I need to install Vista on this thing to get it to be able to work okay. Because if I were to install XP, it wouldn't have the right drivers. I wouldn't be able to find the right drivers anywhere. That would be a big problem. This is a completely different matter though. I got this months ago. This is an HP. It had a 500 gig SATA hard drive and like 3 gigs of RAM and stuff, like a quad core CPU. So this one was awesome. But that's completely different. Yeah, but my point is I need more SATA hard drives, so I'm going to buy a bunch of them. But I think I'm just going to make a quick note on this iMac. This is an iMac G5, I think, but it's not the same G5s as the other 3 I've got. It's a bit better. It's got a camera in it. This is worth about $250 if it works. But, however, I put a hard drive in it because I got it without a hard drive, and I put an 80 gig SATA in it, and when I start up with the operating system CD, it simply gives me the pinwheel of death. It just sits there for ever, really. It doesn't really do anything. But when I don't put the OS CD in it, it just says there's nothing to boot off of, which it should because the hard drive is wiped. So maybe it needs a Mac hard drive. I need to do a little bit of research with this because I don't really know what I'm doing with it. But I bet you I can get it to work. Anyway, back to the 3100. Actually, I think I mentioned pretty much everything on this. So yeah, for this one I just need SATA hard drive. Could use some more RAM, though it's not really a necessity. It's only got 2 RAM slots though, so I'll probably keep this RAM in it. And yeah, need SATA drive. And actually I'm going to mention with this thing, after I started it up the first couple times, I noticed it said that there was a CPU fan failure, and I assumed that the fan was seized up and I need to go through the painful process of replacing it, but it ends up that's not the case. It's simply that the connector wasn't plugged in, so that was an easy fix. Much easier than expected. Okay, so I have some other stuff to talk about here. It's been 8 minutes so far in this video. This is a case we just grabbed. It doesn't have the sidings to it. The front's kind of banged up. But we didn't really take it for the case. We just took it because we were lazy. Didn't feel like taking up the fan before we left. So I think this is a 120mm or so white fan. It's got Molex connectors. Also appears to be perhaps 3-pin capable. Actually, what the heck? Oh, whatever. So yeah, I'm just gonna take the fan out of that probably, and I don't know, probably get rid of the case, obviously. The siding actually might be the side to that case, but even if this is the siding to the case, I don't really want it. But we just took the siding because it has a couple fans in it. 120mm black fan, and it looks like a 60mm or 75 or so. Actually looks like 60mm fan. I think has blue LEDs in it. So yeah, found some old boards and stuff. Scraps. IBM keyboard. And usually when you find keyboards, you find computers with it, but not in this case. You didn't find any computers going along with it. Found a PCI fan thing. It's really dusty. The fan doesn't seem to be seized though. It seems to be okay. But might be able to find a use for that. Some extension cords. Look really old though. No grounding wires. Some Ethernet cords. Video cable. Weird thing is though, Looks like it's 3.5mm audio to video, so that's weird. Video, audio, whatever. I'm not really familiar with that type of thing. Power supply down here. It's Dell. Let me see. I'm really bad at searching for stuff. 18.5 volt, 3.5 amp. I have way too many 18.5 volts. I need a 19.5 for a Dell laptop. I have to test it, but I don't have any. This is a really old laptop. I'm not actually really planning on getting this thing working. It's a Latitude XPI, Dell Latitude XPI. Maybe I'll just smash it for the fun of it. I don't even know. Maybe I'll just throw it back out. I might as well take it. I think that's pretty much it for this video. After all, it has been 11 minutes. So, you know, I actually made my last update video about 3 or 4 days ago. Not much has happened between now and then because I was away for a while. I was out of town with my family for a while, so you know, nothing's really happened besides these computers I got. So yeah, we'll probably make another update, maybe in a couple of days, maybe in a week or two, I don't know, whenever. But until then, thank you for watching.